Howdy everybody. It's going to take a minute, and people had asked what I use to climb trees with while I'm hunting. So I mean, it ain't nothing fancy. Everybody uses something, and mine is what a lot of people use. But I basically use two stands. I use a climber. It's a Summit Climber, an old open shot. It's an old one. A little bit of customizing on it. It packs really quiet. It's not that heavy. I use it if I have to climb a pine, and I won't climb a hard bark tree with it, like an oak or something like that. It'll be a sweet gum, soft bark trees like a chestnut or white oak, or trees like that with soft bark. And the downside of this tree, this climber, is your tree's got to be pretty straight. It can't be all limby, and if you do, you got to cut the limbs off. And but it's not really that heavy. I think it's 14 pounds. Maybe 18 pounds, and you get really good at climbing in it. And people think they're not safe, but from the time I go up one lick on the tree there, I'm hooked to the tree. All the way up, I never unhook from the tree, and then when I come down, same thing. I slide my stuff down as I come down. So I mean, it's safe. I change the cables out. I mean, if they show any sign of rust or wear, they get changed out. These cables are brand new. I put them on here this year. And if I don't leave my stand in the woods, I bring this thing in and out every time. I'll climb in the evening and leave it in the morning, and then come out with it. It don't sit on the tree all year down there. So it's got a good cushion. It's comfortable, and there's no when you're on the tree with it. It's a Summit open shot. There's nothing in, no rails or bars or nothing like that. And it's a good climber. Some people don't like climbers. Some people, that's all they use. But that's the climber that I use. All right, next, I use a lock-on, a Lone Wolf with the sticks, 3 sticks. And this, nothing special about it. I really like this deal. It's not, I can be up a tree in that stand there in like 5 minutes or less. Takes me probably 15 with this. I'm not as agile as I used to be, but there again, I stay hooked to the tree the whole time going up. And 3 sticks will get me, I don't know, 15, 18 feet high. I got a rope that I use. I hook it around the bottom one. So instead of putting my bottom stick foot high, I come up with it a little higher and step in that rope. It gains me a little bit. But what I do like about that is, where I'm handling this strap right here without the rope, then the strap's going to be like nose level with a deer, and I don't like that. I have a lot of deer come directly under my tree. So getting up a little higher, it makes me feel better, whether it helps or not. But a Lone Wolf, the 3 sticks, and I have another one of these stands, the bigger size. This is the small one. I'm not sure what the names of them are, but I have the bigger one, and this thing is probably heavier than that climber. But the beauty of this thing, let me get off track talking about my other one, but here we go. The beauty of this thing is if I can climb any tree with it. And if it's got a ton of limbs in it, I don't like to hang it in pines. But if it's got a ton of limbs in the tree, I don't saw anything. I just go up the tree and utilize that for cover, because I don't like to climb high. I don't like to climb 20 feet. I climb where the cover dictates. If I can go up 10 feet and be in a lot of cover, I'm happy right there. Because a deer, in my opinion, just my opinion, a deer is going to smell you if the wind is wrong, if you're 10 feet or 20 feet. It don't matter. So I feel more comfortable being lower. And some people climb above the cover, and they out there like a traffic light. When you can climb, and like, you can't see these little trees. These little trees here like 8 feet high. You climb, and where the deer has to look up through that to see you, you're in good cover. You don't have to get that high. Gives you a better shot angle, it's more of a high percentage shot like that on an animal too, because I shoot stuff close to me. And so anyway, as I was saying, I have the bigger model of this as well, and I put it on funnels. And usually I do bring the steps out, unless I'm gonna hunt it the next morning. But I'll leave the stand in a funnel and bring my sticks out, and then go back and to it like that. And it'll usually be in a tight, thick place. So I don't have to worry about nobody getting it. And this is what I use to hang that with. I have a lineman's belt, a regular harness, I forget what you call the name of it, maybe Gorilla. And I have a lineman's belt and all that stuff. I use it with my climber. I stay hooked to the tree all the time, like I said, doing this. But I also use a Simmons. This is a Simmons belt. It's got a little lineman's rope there. And I use the woodpecker drill. And it's a little bit of work during September. It's too hot for this. But this time of year, October, especially a tree that I'm going to keep going back to, hunting funnels and things like that, I can leave that big stand and bring my bolts out. And it's got to be a place, some places it's not legal for you to drill holes. But if you remember back in the day, a lot of people used them screw-in steps, and they took the steps out with them. It's basically the same thing, just better. You can drill a hole faster with this. You put these hard bolts in there. You don't just get by the little cheap bolts, you buy the hard bolts. I dip them in the rubber up to that. You can see where the rubber's at right there. And I actually, a lot of them on my bottom ones, I'll wrap with that fluorescent air wrap like I have on my arrows that glow with the flashlight. And so when you're climbing down, you can see them. And plus, when you go to your stands in the morning, you can see them in the dark. But anyway, that's I use the woodpecker drill a lot. And if you're going like 2 miles deep, you can take this with the 10 bolts, leave them sticks in that stand, don't weigh nothing like that, and it's great for that. And this is not really, it's not that cumbersome, you know. This is not a safety belt. You don't use this for safety. And you say, well, that plastic belt buckle won't hold you. It don't have to hold you. You go around the tree and hook into this eye right here. And this is just something to hold you as you drill your holes or as you hang your sticks, if you're going to do that. And then, you know, you have your safety belt hooked as you go the whole way. That's the way I do it. I'm sure there's a million other people do it a million different ways. This is simple for me. So that's what I get up and down trees with. And my favorite, I guess, after the work is done, is using the woodpecker drill and the lock-on. It gives, these things are really comfortable. You have to figure them out. And they got some adjustment in them, the lean and all this sort of thing. And the stand is pretty comfortable too. The only thing I don't like about the stand, if you climb a hard bark tree, and like I said, I don't do that hardly ever, is it'll pop and make noise sometimes. Whereas if you climb like a sweet gum, it bites in and holds, and it don't make noise. If you shift, you know, or if you start to get up, it might squeak on you or something. I use bungee cords, and after I got it in place up in the tree, I hook around those cables and hook to the tree to hold everything where it don't, you know, it don't fall or make any racket if I shift my weight. But that's how I get up and down trees. And I can tell you, no matter how you do it, you stay hooked to the tree from the time you get your foot off the ground till you get back down. Stay hooked to the tree always, and be safe. And you know, if you'll get a stand. When I first got this stand, the first time I climbed it, I hated it because it was new. But as you use something, you'll get the bugs out of it. You'll figure out what works. You may adjust something, and you'll figure out a system that works for you. When I first started with the woodpecker drill a long time ago, I said, my goodness, man, this way ain't a deer worth all this work. But I got where, you know, I was always in a hurry. But now I go to the tree, and if it takes me 20 minutes to get up the tree, it just does. You allow that time for it. But the sweet thing about drilling them holes, and you know, like on sweet gums and things, trash trees, when you pull your bolts, if it's in a funnel or something, you want to come back and hunt again, you can just slip the bolts in the holes. They'll grow up in the spring. From year to year they grow up, but you can drill it in September and hunt it all year if you wanted to. But that's how I climb trees. You guys be safe, and I'll go ahead and say this out loud now. Every year that goes by, I get closer and closer and closer to selling all this crap and hunting off the ground. I enjoy it. It's safer, a lot less work. And the reason people don't kill as many deer off the ground is because they don't hunt off the ground. Last year, I got a video where I killed a deer with a stone point. I was hunting on the ground. I shot her with a river cane arrow and an Osage bow and a stone point, and killed a little small doe. But the deer that was with that deer saw me and spooked, but I didn't have my face covered like I should, and I was focusing on the one I was going to shoot, and I moved. You know, if you're in a tree and one's looking and you move, you're gonna get busted. But the morning before that, I had a monster 8-point walk up to 8 yards, and he was on the side that I had no cover, and he looked straight at me, flagged his tail, and kept on about his business. And I'm talking about public land deer. These South Georgia deer, if you ever hunted them in public land, they've been to school. And I think a fella could put some time into his ground hunting and be really productive. And we're probably going to see that here in the coming years. I'm gonna lean more and more to ground hunting. But that's how I climb trees. And keep your eye out. You may be able to buy this stuff cheap. But I'm going to use it this year for sure, the rest of the year. Alrighty, y'all keep watching. I'm going to start, I guess you would call it a series on hunting on foot, slip hunting for pigs. And not so much deer, but for pigs, because before you know it, deer season's over with. In February, we'll be after them hogs. And I'll start, I'm going to do some stuff on that. So thank y'all for watching. This is what I climb trees with. Remember, you need to carry your little limb saw. You definitely have your safety belts, your string to pull your bow up with, all sorts of things that you need, and you should have all that in a good pack. And when you decide on what pack to use, it's got to, Miss Daisy's treeing a squirrel, y'all hear? You got to make sure it works with your stuff. I put my pack on and my stand over the pack. A lot of people attach their stand to their pack and then put the stand on. I don't like that because it's just that metal and weight and all. I put my pack on and then my stand. All right, thank y'all for watching. Catch y'all on the next one.